Are you curious how Brantford ranks against the other cities in Ontario in terms of affordability? Well, in this video, I'm going to review a study that was just released ranking all the 30 major cities in Ontario and how they stack up against each other. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jeff Thibodeau. I'm an experienced real estate broker right here in my hometown of Brantford, Ontario. And I've been helping people just like you with their real estate transactions for over 15 years. So whenever you're ready to start a conversation, all my contact information is in the video description below. And I also have my phone number right up here on the screen. If this video is bringing you any value at all, please do me a favor and just click that like button. It really helps me out in the YouTube algorithms and keeps my videos visible. And also take a second to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so that as I post my new weekly videos, they show up on your homepage. So how does Brantford compare to the other large cities in Ontario? Point 2 is a real estate technology company that just released a new report ranking all these cities against each other based on all the data they collect behind the scenes. Specifically for this article, they looked at what $400,000 buys you in terms of the average house and the dollar per square foot available in all of these different cities. Now they used $400,000, I think, because that's the typical entry-level price point when it comes to first-time home buyers and qualifying for a mortgage here in Ontario. Now, it's going to be no surprise that there's going to be a trade-off from living in towns like right downtown core Toronto or all the way up in Thunder Bay. In real estate, there's always been a trade-off between how much house you can get and how dense and big and populated a city is. So as a home buyer, it's important to think about this and consider the trade-off you want to make in terms of how much home you want versus what type of city you want to live in, and make that part of your home hunting process. Let me know in the comments, would you rather live in a big city and have a small house, or live in a small city and have a big house? What's your preference? Now, Brantford has always ranked as one of the most affordable communities within the proximity to the GTA. And that hasn't changed in this study at all. Looking down this list, we actually rank number 9 out of the 30 cities in Ontario, and we're right next to our neighbor Hamilton. When you look at any of the cities that rank above us, 1 through 7, they're all towns that are much further away from the Greater Toronto Area. These are cities like Windsor, London, Kingston, Sudbury, Chatham, and even Thunder Bay. Now, while all these cities give you a lot more bang for your housing buck, they are all different real estate markets, and you would have to either be working remotely or have some local employment, because commuting from any of these towns into the Greater Toronto Area for work is pretty much a non-starter. Now, if you want to be closer to the GTA and still have an affordable property, it's clear from this ranking that you've got 2 choices with Brantford and Hamilton. Now, of course, Brantford sits out here on our own little island, about 100,000 people, and growing with a little bit of a smaller town vibe. And then you've got Hamilton right next door. It's an amalgamation of a bunch of different cities over the years, but it's a much larger town with high-rise buildings in the downtown and more of that urban vibe. So you kind of have your choice of which town you'd like to live in. And Brantford and Hamilton are really only 20 minutes apart from each other. It's really interesting to me to look at this list and look at towns like Cambridge, Kitchener, Waterloo, and Guelph. They're all ranking in the top 10 most expensive cities in Ontario. And they're all within like 45 minutes to 60 minutes right here from Brantford. As a real estate agent, I've actually noticed a lot of people relocating from those cities to Brantford to get a more affordable home, or perhaps get that same home, but get a lot more square footage. I'm curious, as we have this list and the ranking up on the screen, what city do you live in and where does it hit on this ranking chart? Now, it's no surprise that downtown Toronto comes in as the most expensive real estate market in Ontario. $400,000 there gets you a tiny 390 square foot condo. Compare that to potentially getting a 781 square foot home here in Brantford. Have you ever been to IKEA where they do those little condo setups? 395 square feet is a very, very small home. The average price per square foot in downtown Toronto is over $1,000. Well, it's just about half that in Brantford, meaning generally you're going to be able to get twice as much square footage for your real estate dollar. Also, typically in Toronto, you'll be looking at condo living in a high rise with underground parking, condo fees, elevators, that type of lifestyle, where that same $400,000 here in Brantford, it will be getting you a detached home or a townhome with a yard, a driveway, a much different feel. It really is, what kind of lifestyle you're looking for. I really like the graphics. You guys know I'm a charts and graphs geek. They've put together some visual representations here of the different sized homes that you get for $400,000 in these different cities. And you can see here at the bottom right, that tiny little box, that represents the size of a home you get for $400,000 in Toronto. And if you zoom out, this entire box represents Thunder Bay. And you can see Brantford sitting in the middle with our neighboring communities in about the mid-range price point. If you do look all the way out there to Thunder Bay, $400,000 can actually buy you a 1,325 square foot detached home on average. So it's quite compelling if you were able to relocate to that northern lifestyle. Let me know, would you be willing to pick up your family and move to Thunder Bay if it meant you got a 1,325 square foot home for $400,000 compared to a 390 foot condo? Well, I hope you found this video interesting. It confirmed a lot of what I know, which is a lot of people choose Brantford as their new home because of its affordability while still being in proximity to the greater Toronto area. Living here my whole life, I've thought that the location of Brantford is one of its best assets. You're only a short drive to almost anything you need in Southern Ontario, yet you've still got that small town vibe and that lower cost of living. Well, thanks for joining me on this video. I'm going to bring you lots more interesting news articles and market analysis in the future. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for being here, and check out this video next.